Hi there. Welcome to Day Video Games for another Forest audio log with me, David Stanya, where I chat about games while having a walk through a forest from a video game. Today I am in the Living Forest. The Living Forest is a forest in mystical Outworld, haunted for centuries by the souls of those foolish enough to wander in. For you see, the trees are alive, and you might know it from Mortal Kombat. Yes, if you look closely, you'll see that some of the trees have faces. It's quite a spooky place to have a fight, because some of these faces are frowning. And generally, trees shouldn't have faces, so it's spooky that they do. I mean, a tree with a face is pretty scary, I guess. Don't lean on it, it might bite your bum. Or maybe these trees used to be men, and being turned into a tree is a pretty scary prospect. You couldn't go to the cinema. No wonder all these trees are frowning. They used to be men. Also in the Living Forest, occasionally the characters Jade or Smoke will peek their heads out from behind one of the trees. But that's more cheeky than it is scary. It's more of a tee-hee vibe. I used to love Mortal Kombat when I was about 11. Loved the movie. I had the Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 on Sega Mega Drive. Ooh, I loved it. Although Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 didn't have Johnny Cage, my fave fighter, as aesthetically, Johnny Cage was so cool, at least to me as an 11-year-old. He had sunglasses, he had a cool name, and maybe my racist, sexist little ass gravitated towards one of the only Western white male fighters in the game. Whoops. But hey, as I played it more, I really liked Noob Saibot, and he was entirely black and kind of genderless, so don't cancel the 11-year-old me just yet. So that's the forest I'm walking through today. But today, I want to talk to you about something called a PlayStation 5. Towards the end of last episode, I said about how I'd recently got a PlayStation 5. Ooh, yeah. I had a little bonus from my day job for the first time in 9 years. And that includes Christmas. I don't even know if Christmas bonuses are still a thing, unless you're like a postman. They feel very 90s. Well, I had a little extra money, so I seized the chance to really try and hunt down a PS5. I registered my interest with Sony, and I must have caught them at a good time, because the next day they were like, hey, you want to buy a PlayStation 5? I was like, yes, that's what I said yesterday. They were like, okay, you can buy one. I was like, really? And I did. Oh, it was all moving so fast. I couldn't believe it. I had to slow down. And so when they asked if I wanted to pay the extra £10 for express shipping, I said no. I needed a little while to collect myself, to get myself ready. Then I got an email the next day, a Saturday, saying, your PlayStation 5 will be with you at 2 p.m. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And hey, what a swizz, paying for that express delivery. The delivery guy seemed scared at how much I was smiling at him. And the cooing probably didn't help either. I was slightly dreading the setup, signing into stuff, typing in a Wi-Fi password with a gamepad, and then signing into some more stuff. But it was all actually pretty fine. I knew I was going to like my PlayStation 5, but I can't believe how much I like it. The quality of life jump's been crazy. But then I guess that's what a 9-year gap of a long-ass console cycle will do, eh? I want to know whose job it is to come up with the lovely noises. Because, the PS5 has got some lovely noises. Just moving about, plonk, plonk, plonk. Lovely. I wasn't really looking forward to the new shape of the pad that much. I liked the weird haunches of a DualShock. But I gotta say, I forgot about that pretty quick. It's very comfortable. It's probably the most comfortable PS pad yet. And it's just really nice. Yeah, very nice pad. Firstly, I played a bit of Astro's Playroom as the other stuff downloaded. What a lovely little robot. And I know everybody says this, but it really showed off those new haptic feedbacks. With the frosty winds and the boingy springs or sliding down stuff, you can feel the friction of what your bum would be feeling through your fingers with these fancy new stylized vibrations. I find it quite hard to do justice to how good this haptic stuff is. It's like a 3D feelings for your fingers, or like surround sound, but for your hands. I hadn't even really thought about how the rumbling of a pad could be improved, but yeah, wow. I'm really looking forward to seeing how some other games might use it. Like God of War Ragnarok, I'm looking at you. It does mean that setting down the pad on a hard wooden table makes even more insane noises than ever before. Like, but hey, just don't put your pad down on a hard wooden table. Just keep playing video games. Now, the pad is white, and so we'll see how these white colours fare with my grubby little mitts over time. One other thing I've noticed about the PlayStation 5 is that my phone screen time weekly count percentage thing's been down. I think it's because of the shorter loading times. No time to check WhatsApp. Just keep playing video games. Another improvement I've noticed on the PlayStation 5 is that when you go to like share some gameplay, like save the video of your footage, it used to be that you could save only like one amount of time. I used to have it like set at 15 minutes if I wanted to like save a bit of gameplay video footage. But now it asks you how much you want to save. 15 minutes, 3 minutes, 1, the whole thing. You got it. Just a little thing I thought was neat. A little quality of life improvement. Thank you very much, Sony PlayStation. Now, you might have seen how PlayStation Plus has changed recently with like different tiers as they're trying to like kind of respond to the Game Pass. And so PlayStation was saying, hey, seeing as you have to renew your PlayStation Plus subscription in September, we'll let you upgrade to like PlayStation Plus Extra for like a $5. And I thought, Stray had just come out on it. It also meant that I'd have a good handful of PS5 games ready to go for my brand new console. And so I went for it. And do you know what? Dang. I am so sold on PS Plus Extra. Love it. In fact, it's mid-September now. And so I've just paid for 12 months of Extra. Sold indeed. And so now I was spoiled for choice of what to play. And so it's time to ask, what video game have I been playing recently? What video game have you been playing recently? What's in your disc drive loaded up repeatedly? What's been entertaining you so consistently? What video game have you been playing recently? What video game have you been playing recently? That's what I want to know, please will you tell it to me? What's been making your hands move so furiously? What video game have you been playing recently? As just mentioned, first off I went for Stray. Being a little cat in a neon dystopian world of robots, I really liked this game. I like cats. I've got a cat. Betty. I love her. I love her very much. And so as a cat guy, I was very into this. But that said, like, you know how parents can't watch stuff with like kids in peril in because they're scared because they've got a baby and they can relate? Well, I had that with this cat. Like when it was being chased by a horde of blobs, I found it extra distressing. Like, what if Betty was being chased by a swarm of bacteria? Although I was a bit disappointed with my cat's lack of interest in Stray. Like I'd seen videos of other cats that were like mad into it, watching it intently, watching their owners play it. But Betty didn't give a shit. And like you can even hit circle and it makes the speaker on your pad go meow. And that like made her head turn, but she'd look at it, see what was going on and turn back. Ultimately she didn't care about my meowing gamepad. The only game she has really been properly bothered about was, you know, The Forest, the survival game. And whenever I was playing that and using a lighter to like get through a spooky cave, she'd love that lighter. She'd try and get that lighter, batting her paws against the television, making me scared as it wobbled. I always have to think about what The Forest is called as well. And I think it's because I want to call it The Island, you know, on account of it being set on an island. Although I can never really get too far into that game, so maybe there's a lot more trees later. My main game at the moment, though, is Ghost of Tsushima. You know it. It's kind of like Assassin's Creed, sure, just with less jumping around. But it looks so pretty, and samurais are cool, and the stories are well written. And I'm not saying Assassin's Creed stories are written really badly, just quite badly. Like I remember in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, a guy really changing the topic of conversation to be about snakes. Like proper 90-degree turn the conversation there.
If you're here for your purification bath, you'll have to come back another time.
I'm here for information.
In that case, you can go straight to Hades.
I need to know about a Spartan woman who came through here many years ago.
Did that eagle of yours shit in your ears? I'm under strict orders not to talk to any mercenaries. Especially not about Spartan women or injured babies.
My eagle will tear out your tongue, priest.
Forgive me, not the tongue. Not like me, Don. Chrysis threatened anyone who speaks to the eagle bearer.
Did she? Tell me about the woman and her baby, and I won't drown you in your bathhouse. How's that for a threat?
Please, no! There's already a corpse in there.
What are you talking about?
Snakes!
Snakes.
And then I had to go and get a load of snakes.
What if I took care of your snake problem? Would you talk to me then?
Oh, most definitely.
Which is fine by me. I love the stuff they have you doing in Ghost of Tsushima. Like following the wind, or slicing up bamboo, or petting foxes, or following golden birds, writing haikus, or getting my bum out, going in a hot spring and having to think about stuff. Like having to think about my uncle, or the past. One thing in this game, and I don't know why, but I keep pressing triangle to get on my horse, and triangle isn't the button for getting on your horse, it's the button for heavy attack. So I keep just fully twatting my horse in the face. I kind of wish there was more gore in Ghost of Tsushima. After Red Dead 2 and The Last of Us 2, I thought maybe we'd get some more, I thought we'd get some more blood. Maybe some beheadings. Maybe a few limbs off on account of all the sharp swords. Come on, I want to cut some dicks off. And speaking of gore, I remember when you beat Mortal Kombat, sometimes it would show you a compilation of all the finishes. You know when they say, finish them. And then they do, in a crazy way. But like, watching so many of them in a row, even as a kid I felt myself getting desensitized to all this. Okay, so he's taken off his hood to reveal a lizard's face. He's spat some acid and it's melted all the skin off that woman's body, leaving a kind of skeletal mulch, which is still standing up, and it's now just crumpled into a mess on the floor. Okay, next we have a lady who's twirling her stick around so much that it's making like a fan, and the lad with the metal face has been sucked into it, and he's exploded into a load of bones and body parts and such. Okay, next we have Sub-Zero, and he's making a snowman, and it says friendship, because actually this is a nice one. Okay, next a man of metal arms has punched off Sonya's head. I kind of left Mortal Kombat behind when I got into Tekken, and then after Tekken I might have dabbled in a bit of Soul Calibur 2, but mostly I kind of really went off that kind of fighting game. I played a bit of Street Fighter 4, but it just made me realise I really don't have any of the willingness to commit to that kind of learning you have to do with these games. All the button combos and different moves. The only letters I'd be pressing are TBH, CBA. And then just a cursory glance at what these games are like nowadays. It's got all that having to buy extra fighters as DLC, rather than just having a full roster. And the completionist in me just whispers, nah. Plus it's all about playing online now, and I do not want to do that. I do miss it just being 2 controllers and 1 TV for this kind of game. But hey, it's a pity for me, if anything, that I don't like these kind of games anymore. They must still be popular. We're up to Mortal Kombat 11 now. Like the fickle hussy I am, I'm already eyeing up what game to play next after Ghost of Tsushima. I think it may well be Guardians of the Galaxy, as that's on PlayStation Plus Extra. I also want to replay The Last God of War, ready for the sequel this November. Ready for Ragnarok. I'm also planning a third and final attempt at The Witcher 3. I think lockdown has given me improved stamina for longer games, and I've got a bigger TV now, so I'll be able to read that tiny, tiny writing. Okay, it's time to do a finish him on this podcast episode. I'm going to get out of the living forest before someone does a finish him on me. And if they do, I hope it's the one where you get turned into a baby. Babality. Whatever that word means. There isn't really a schedule for when these episodes come out, so I hope you like surprises and lack of routine. I was hoping to do them weekly, and I'll try, but then I had a very full week of doing shows for Murder Inc., the improvised murder mystery. I was doing shows in both Leeds and Manchester. Do check out Murder Inc. on Facebook and Instagram. I'll do links in the description. Basically, it's an improvised murder mystery, done by a cast of real phony people. Hey, you might think improv is bad, you might think it's not good comedy. But you're not seeing us, okay? In fact, my wife finally came to see it, and after she kept saying, I can't believe it was actually good. She just kept saying it. She couldn't believe it was actually good. She said it a bit too much. We have monthly shows in Leeds and Manchester, and I think we've got shows coming up in Birmingham and London, maybe even Liverpool soon. Links in the description. Also, this episode was delayed because the Queen died. Her Majesty. Yeah. She's the Queen of the Afterlife now. Sounds like the bio of a Mortal Kombat character. I saw Rockstar Games tweeted out a tribute, and I do think it's sad that she'll never get to play GTA 6. Well, maybe she did. Maybe she's like that kid at school who said she's got a PlayStation 8. But she actually did, because she was the Queen. Right. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. I've been David Stanya. Take care. Goodbye.